All right. Okay. She was a fascinating character, as you mentioned about the sense of humor part, at the same time the confidence part. So I was watching one of her videos where she just calculated the 13 digits, the multiplication, the way she did. And the way she was asking the panel that should I go from right to left or left to right?
Yeah,
the confidence was incredible.
Yeah, I've seen her videos and she played her audience. You would think that, अच्छा, इतने बड़े calculations कर रही है, पहले तो how is she doing it?
Right.
You feel it's humanly impossible. I kept trying to figure out कि क्या कैसे calculate किया होगा. कितने भी steps आप fast कर लो ना, you can't give answers in that short a span of time. She was obviously, she had an unbelievable gift, quality, whatever you call it. And then to do it with a sense of humor, to play to the gallery, to engage the audience, to make maths fun. You know, I've seen so many of her shows and they're not boring. Otherwise, normally, ज़्यादातर लोगों को लगता है कि maths तो boring है. Okay. You know, what is it? It's about numbers. There's no, everyone likes stories. But she just made it so much fun. She made it accessible also. She taught you tricks. She used Vedic maths. It's something that I think we should be using far more in our country because Vedic maths was born here.
All right, and she's someone who started at a very, very early stage, and her
she started her first she did her first show at the age of 3.
Yeah, and her father, who was in a circus, he was a trapeze artist, and he identified her talent and he promoted her, he encouraged her. They went to London after that. How crucial do you think was the role of her father in her life?
Obviously, because he recognized that in her and then cultivated it. You know, I think he played a very crucial role. But you know, I do wonder if, I don't want to sit in judgment, but I wonder if it's fair on the child to be making the child do so many shows and she didn't attend school.
Even I was thinking about the same.
Yeah.
When I was just
so I think she also has, I've seen interviews of hers where she didn't enjoy the fact that she didn't have a childhood. You know, and you see, today I think about the fact that there are so many children on these reality TV shows. How many of them really want to be there? Or how many of them are fulfilling their parents' desires? You know, living their parents' dreams. I think that I wonder. So I think in a way it's great because he recognized Shakuntala Devi's rare gift and cultivated it. But I'm conflicted.
Yeah, same here. In fact, even I was thinking because 6, I think she was when she was in Mysore and she created that record of sorts. And from 6 to 16, she was traveling.
Oh, absolutely.
And
not 6 to 16.
London after that. And
you know, she died at the age of 83, 84, and pretty much up to the end, 84. Pretty much up to the end, she was still much fewer shows, of course, because she was traveling less, but she was still doing shows.
Yeah.
And she was doing her astrological. So she's worked through her life.
Absolutely. Yeah, right. Okay, so I was watching one of your interviews and you've said that you found the innate restlessness of Shakuntala Devi identical to yours. What is the importance of nervous energy for any artist?
I don't know.
That restlessness.
If it's a good thing, I know I have it.
Right.
You know, I'm much calmer now, but how do I say this? You know, I want to do, like, all my energies are invested in being an actor, in playing a role. But she didn't limit herself, so all my restlessness finds expression there. Yeah. But with her, she was, of course, the human computer, traveling the world, doing shows. She wrote books. She wrote 20 books in 2 years.
Including cookery books.
Including cookery books, including, you know, how to make maths fun and
astrology,
all those.
Astrology.
Yeah, astrology. Then she did her, you know, she started doing astrology professionally. And she came from a family of astrologers, as a matter of fact.
Right.
And then she also tried to enter politics.
Yes, she did.
Stood for elections against Indira Gandhi.
Right.
So, she was constantly wanting to do something different and new. I identify with that restlessness when it comes to me as an actor. I want to do different things. I want to play different characters, tell different kinds of stories. And I'm fully invested in that. But with her, she was doing different things. And imagine she would have busy days and at the end she would sit and write books. 20 books in 2 years? That's insane.
Absolutely. Why do you think she entered politics at a point of time when she was doing maybe the best? It was the time when she entered the Guinness Book of World Records as well. Why would you think that she just thought of getting into politics at that point?
I've also wondered. But
Yeah.
I think there was nothing that she didn't want to try.
Yeah.
And she thought that, she's so popular that she should use her popularity to do something for society if she gets elected as a politician or something like that. Maybe, I think maybe it was even a power trip.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, maybe it was a power trip because she had seen a great deal of power.
Right.
She was literally the king and the queen and all of that in her world. Right. So I think she thought ki acha ye bhi ho jayega.
Right.
Hua nahi, but I think that's what it is. Never say die spirit. There was nothing she didn't try. She played the flute. She played the sitar. She also wrote a crime thriller.
Crime thriller. Okay, that's interesting.
So you think of something and Shakuntala Devi's done it already.
So I was watching one of her interviews and she has said that nobody challenges me. I challenge myself.
Yeah.
So while I was watching that, I immediately thought that this is exactly how Vidya Balan functions as well. We've seen her over the period of time. Because you challenge yourself. You've always set new parameters for yourself. What is it that you have personally learned from Shakuntala Devi and her life?
What have I learned from Shakuntala Devi is that, honestly, there are some realizations that I can't share now because I'll be giving away things about the story. But I can tell you that as a woman, I admire the fact that she wanted to conquer the world and she went ahead and did it without any guilt, without being apologetic. And she celebrated herself. We all talk, she actually believed that she owned the world. I think that is something that I keep reminding myself of. Because, especially at a time which was, I wasn't even born in 77. Or at the time when she was at the peak of her career. I think that zest for life, that never say die spirit, that, like you said, no one challenges me, I challenge myself, I'm the best in my world. Yeah. To believe that and not slip up once, because when you go through her life, I've also spoken to her daughter and her son-in-law and everyone says the same thing, that she never doubted herself. I think that when you don't doubt yourself at all, I think it's unbelievable, especially as a woman.
Absolutely. So the film is directed by Anu Menon. It is written by Anu Menon and Nayanika Mehtani with dialogues by Ishita Moitra.
Yeah. So many women.
So many women.
And Keiko, who's the cinematographer.
Great.
And our co-producer on the film is also a woman, Shikha. There's also Redita here. So too many women on our...
Right.
The editor is Antara, who's a woman. The production designer was a woman. So we were surrounded by women. And I've never been surrounded by so many women. I like that little male energy. But I enjoyed, it was truly collaborative. And without taking away from any of the men I've worked with, I must say, this was one set where there were no egos. There were no games being played.
Right.
There was no one-upmanship. Everyone was working towards the film.
Right. And you have Amit Sar, I believe, and Sania Malhotra are there as well.
Yeah, and Jishu Sengupta.
Jishu Sengupta is playing your father, from what I understand.
No, Shakuntala's husband.
Uh, Shakuntala's husband. Okay. Jishu Sengupta is playing Shakuntala's husband.
Shakuntala's husband.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. All right. And I was watching one of her interviews, another interviews of Shakuntala Devi, and she said that I've traveled all across the world. I've not been to China and Russia. And the reason that she gave for that was that they don't believe, they're a communist country and they don't believe in God. And I'm someone who has a deep faith in God. So I was immediately reminded of your character from Mission Mangal. It's a scientist but believes in the supreme power and that impossible can happen because of that.
She did end up going to Russia.
She did?
Yeah,
Okay.
she did end up going to Russia. So I think she was also, so quick-witted. Agar jawab nahi hai, to jawab bana lo. She was one of those people.
Right.
I'm a person of great faith. My relationship with God, my understanding of God has changed and evolved, I'd like to believe, over the years.
Right.
So, but to each his own. If you're an atheist or a non-believer, which my husband is, I have absolutely no problem. So I would not go to China or Russia because they are communist.